Okay, thank you. So we're now on record. All right, so I'm just going to say big afternoon to everyone again. It's 21st day of March, 2026, and we hope as we are all aspire to do your best in this UTM. May the good Lord and our helpers with big success. Of course, we do know we have responsibilities to that effect, and this is part of the responsibilities of doing, to get to tutors to become aware and that they do their best. And of course, you must also understand that this just looks like a game of tennis. All right. So it requires two people. Even when you have the best trainer, you have the best tutor, you still have to sit down to do processing. You still need to move information from the short term memory to the long term memory. So you cannot, it's your success, and there's no way that your success can be free of you. So you have a role to play. As a matter of fact, you have the greatest role to play in this whole thing. All right. So having said that, let's get on to business. I'm going to share my screen. Maybe others they'll be joining. So I'm going to share my screen right here. Okay, good. So as we consider the time frame, evidently we won't be able to meet up if we focus on if we move at that same pace. The exam is really, really, really drawing nearer or closer. So there's a need for us to also improvise. And on that basis, I've decided to look at three topics in just one section. And then maybe in the next class, you have opportunity also look at another three. I think that's just how I think we can move. All right, because we also need you to process. You also needed some practice time, thinking time. We couldn't introduce for. But let's look at what this tree is all about. These are frequent questions, like we've mentioned. We have apostrophe, confusables, and pronoun case. So let's start with apostrophe. I hope we'll be able to spend maybe just 30 minutes on that, and then we'll move to the next one. So let's look at apostrophe. What is it all about? Now, when you talk about an apostrophe, I said among other things, apostrophe is used to express ownership. Think about it. Do you know what that sign is? That apostrophe sign, that's the one that looks like a comma. All right, but then you have that at top. Maybe I need to use, let me use the section that allows me to annotate. Okay, so this allows me to annotate, for example, yeah, when we talk about the apostrophe, you just say something, you're just talking about something like this. Yeah, this is it. It looks like a comma, but then you usually find that above, not below. So I think the difference between this sign and comma is the fact that one is above, the other is below. One is at a low level, the other one is at an above. So that's just the difference between them. Now, you must have been saying that, and I'm sure you do know what you can make sense of it. Let us start by talking about the first use of that sign, this apostrophe. The first thing it does, it suggests or signifies an omission. It tells us something is missing, and that is, I'm going to use a very good example. It tells us something is missing. That's an omission. So anytime I see, among other things, all right, if I see this sign, apostrophe, maybe one thing that can come to my mind is something is missing. For example, look at this word, don't. You have it in don't, all right? This is don't. All right, so this suggests to me that something is missing. If you look at that, what is missing? What is missing is O. So this is do not. All right, so that's the first understanding of the apostrophe. The apostrophe suggests that we have omitted something. So here we can see very clearly that we have omitted this O, and that is don't. Now, the second one is much more important, and that's what we want to deal with today. The second has to do with ownership. Something belongs to another person. Ownership, something belongs to another person. Take, for example, this is it here, Sam's phone. We can see the apostrophe there, but this time around it comes with a S. This another one, Alex's phone. This tells me, okay, something belongs to another person. There is another one, Happiness phone. This tells me something belongs to someone. And this is Moses' phone. It also tells me something belongs to someone. All right, so we've talked about apostrophe as it relates to omission. Now we want to talk about apostrophe as it relates to ownership. Something belongs to someone. Someone is in charge of something. Someone owns something. All right, so I'm going to write that right here. Okay, so all of these suggest that something belongs to someone else. So all of those as examples all suggest ownership. Okay, but this is the big deal. When it comes to ownership, your observation is, I'm sure you have had that observation. Sometimes you have an apostrophe coming after S. Other time you have the apostrophe coming before the S. So the question is, what is the replacement? And for the placement, there are rules to learn. What is the replacement? What do I need to understand about? Should I have apostrophe S? Should I have the apostrophe after the S or before the S? I think this is just one simple and important question. Sam's phone. We can see clearly here. Yeah, we can see clearly here. It's coming before the S. Alex's phone, we can see it coming before the S. But Happiness phone, we can see it alone. Or we can see it's coming after the S. So the one is after, the other two are before. So when you look at Moses, it's also coming after the S. What is it that we need to know? And after that, these are all names. They are all names of people. If you like, you can say they're all Western names or English names. But we notice that we have the apostrophe before X, and in other situations, you have the apostrophe after the X. So what's happening? Good question. What is the rule? So this is the rule. This is all we're going to pay attention to. What does this one tell us? So we're just going to abide by these. So this is the rule. All right. This says that add apostrophe S to all proper nouns. What are proper nouns? Names of people, particular names of people, like your name, my name, Keith, Titilola, Sam, Hilary, specific names of people. All right, specific names of people. That's what you call proper noun. So all proper nouns, we need to add apostrophe S to them. But we said, you know what? There's a caveat, and that means there's an exception. There is a caution. The caution is the SS or S in the middle, S in the end. Take, for example, look at this name. Look at this name. This one, this is SS. This name ends in SS. So stuffs like this would accept just apostrophe, even though this is no longer being pronounced. But then traditionally, this is the position. And this one, you can see these are 5 letters. Moses has 5 letters. This is S in the end. This is S in the middle. This kind of situation would also require just an apostrophe. All right. Moses is just like Jesus. Yeah, he's just like Jesus. So when we talk about the Jesus disciples, so there's just going to be an apostrophe here and not apostrophe S. Jesus disciples. Okay, yeah, the Jesus disciples. So we're just going to use an apostrophe. Why? Because of the peculiarity of that name, not necessarily because of its supremacy, because of its wonderment. No, it's just about a cautionary rule. Okay, there's a rule that says if you have S in the middle and S in the end, just use an apostrophe and never mind about the additional S. That is what the first rule is all about. I'll quickly walk you through this for 6 on the screen, and after that, maybe we'll ask you to take a short quiz. Now, number 2, add apostrophe S to all names, all singular nouns. Sorry, I think I messed up. I wanted to say all singular nouns. Remember, for your nouns, you have the singular nouns, then you also have the plural nouns. Examples. Ball, balls, boy, boys, car, cars, lorry, lorries, stuff like that. So we're supposed to add apostrophe S to all singular nouns. Take, for example, this is a boy, all right, and that's a singular noun. There, boy, one boy, okay, and this is one woman, woman. So if you're dealing with just something in the singular form, one boy, one woman, all right, so what happens? you need an apostrophe s to express ownership, and that's why you can see we have added apostrophe s because we're just talking about one boy having more than one phone. We're talking about one woman having just one bag. So we have the boys' phones, we have the woman's bag. Unfortunately, this is not true for irregular plurals. Now we'll talk about the singulars, one boy, one woman. They have the plural form, boys, women. Now, the plural form of boy is boys. I added s. The plural form of woman is women. I changed the A to E. And I think this should remind you of one of my emphases, that the English language is crazy. And that's why I take it easy when people goof in the language. In fact, it doesn't even strike a chord for me because it's nothing. I understand why anyone needs to goof. I understand why anyone needs to make mistake because the language itself is crazy. I mean, so you're saying one boy, okay, then one man. If the boy, if the, you know, so when you now talk about a group of boys, I'm going to say boys. If I talk about the, men or a group of men, so I'm going to talk about men. I'm not going to talk about I'm not going to talk about mans. It doesn't make any sense, but that's what the English language says, and that's why I said the language is crazy. Now you have to be very careful when dealing with such. Based on that, the English language recognizes two types of pronoun. All right, the English language recognizes two types of plurals. So there's the plural we call regular, and there's the one we call irregular. So you have the irregular plural, and then you have the irregular plural. So there is the one we call regular, and there is the one we call irregular. The regular are those ones that we usually end in X. That's how you know them. For example, phone, phones, plurals that end in S. We call them regular plural nouns. Book, books, lorry, lorries, um, television, televisions, fan, fans, bottle, bottles, bed, beds, words that end in N, tomato, tomatoes, pencil, pencils, photo, photos. All right, we call them regular plurals. One thing about regular plurals is you can only use an apostrophe after them, not apostrophe s. And if you look at those examples, we're talking about the boys, there are many, the ladies, there are many, and it doesn't matter, they might just be two. Okay, but when I was express my ownership that something belongs to them, you can see I added just an apostrophe. The boy's toys, the lady's bag. So you can see just an apostrophe after the S, apostrophe after the lady. So I need to talk, okay, the boys are many. Boys, then I add apostrophe. Girls, then I add an apostrophe. But in a situation where we talk about the irregular plurals, irregular plurals are those ones that do not end in S. They are plural words, like men. The word men is a plural word, but it doesn't end in S. Children is a plural word, but it doesn't end in X. Oxen is a plural word, but it doesn't end in X. Stuff like that. They don't end in X, but they are also plural words. We call those ones irregular because the irregular means they're not common, they're unusual. So what happens to them? In their own case, we are to use apostrophe S and not just apostrophe. In their own case, we are to use apostrophe S and not just apostrophe. You can see it here, apostrophe S with them. You can see it here, apostrophe S with this. You can see it here, apostrophe S with this. So when you look at this, the women's bags, apostrophe S, the men's ministry. I think some people will say, oh, the children department. Well, that's wrong. I mean, if you're describing a department that belongs to children, so it's going to come with apostrophe S. Maybe they have the fear or the phobia of, can we add S to children already? Yes, when expressing ownership, you need apostrophe S. The children's department. You should do the same to women. Talk about the women's fellowship, not the women fellowship. I think I say that sometimes. You have that being inscribed on some buses, leaflets, bulletins. They say the women wing, or they say the women fellowship. You cannot say the women fellowship. A fellowship that belongs to women. All right, so it's going to be the women's fellowship, but it's going to be apostrophe S. Okay, that's the way it works. All right. Of course, you're going to have this note, so I beg of you to review it. And secondly, there is a video. It's been recorded. You can go listen to it again and again and again, so that you can get it right. Once you get it once, you have got it all. All right. So that's how to deal with the first one. I've talked about the first rule, which has to do with any name. Just give it apostrophe s. That's my name there. You can do that with your name, gifts. You can do that with even Yoruba name, Titil Allah something. You can do that with Paul something. But remember, the exceptions are words with names with SS or names with S in the end and S in the middle. They are to be treated differently. All right. So we also have for singular nouns. Singular nouns, you have to add apostrophe S. However, when it comes to the plural form, there are two types of plurals. So you have the regular plurals and then you have the irregular plurals. For the regular ones, they are the ones that usually end in X. Irregular doesn't end in S. So irregular will take apostrophe S, while regular will take just apostrophe. All right, so that's the way it works. Then the next one is add apostrophe only, so plural time phrase. Now let's even establish what do we mean by time phrase. This represents words that indicate time. Words that indicate time. Let's see some examples. Words that indicate time. The word hours indicates time. The word minute indicates time. The word days indicate time. The word years indicate time. All these words indicate time. All these words indicate time. Okay. So when you have a word that indicates time, you have to be very careful. Now, that word can also be in the plural form or the singular form. For example, you have hours in the plural form, minutes in the plural form, days in the plural form, years in the plural form. So we are 2 hours program. That's something you have to take care of. 2 hours. You must put that apostrophe. You must put that apostrophe after what's it called? After this time expression, 5 minutes show. This apostrophe is necessary. 7 days BG. You also need it. All right, Paul, go ahead.
Sir, if I'm not wrong, these 5 days, 7 days, and all of that, it can also be as adjectives. So we
Yes.
can something like 7 day video. So how do we differentiate between this and that?
Okay. Thank you. If you want to use it as an adjective, we call that a compound adjective. And compound simply means more than one. And precisely, it's going to be what we call hyphenated compound word. There are 3 types of compound words. We have what we call closed compound, open compound, hyphenated compound. So it's going to be a hyphenated compound. And let me show you an example. Then you can have something like A is going to be necessary. Let's say, a 7. So you see the iPhone, a 7-day VG. So this is what it's going to work. All right. So this one is not expressing ownership, but this is what you actually meant. Okay. A 7-day VG or 7 days VG, whichever one that makes you prefer. Both of them are correct and they say the same thing. No difference at all. So you have 7 days, then VG. So this is it. Okay, so these are the 2 options. All right, Paul. Yeah, thank you. So that's the way it works. A 7-day VG or 7 days VG. All right. So remember, with time phrases can be in the singular form and they can also be in the plural form. But it doesn't matter. When they're in the plural form, you just need an apostrophe only. When they're in the singular form, you need apostrophe S. Now, let me call your attention to a very common error. Yes, very common error. But this error is peculiar when we decide to honor our dead. All right, maybe someone, let's say, someone transits to the world beyond, and people say, okay, can we observe a 1 minute silence? A 1 minute silence is okay, like we have a 7-day. But sometimes, in most cases, we don't even hear A. So can we observe 1 minute silence? I don't get to listen to the A, but what I hear people say is, can we observe 1 minute silence? One, O-N-E, silence. That won't be right. All right. If you make reference to time expressions, you are bound to use the you're bound to express ownership either by just an apostrophe or by apostrophe s. So the correct one is, can we observe 1 minute silence? I think the trouble is, but it's just 1 minute now. Why do I need to add s? You see, you have to add apostrophe s. That's the correct position. Time expressions, time phrases, you need to express ownership with them. 1 minute silence, but there's going to be apostrophe s. All right. Or you say a 1 minute silence. And between the one, a minute, you're gonna have an iPhone. Okay. Another one is that's another very common error there. An hours program. I think I hear people say just an hour program, an hour program, an hour program. You cannot be talking about time that way. If you're going to treat time, you have to treat time like ownership tool and an ownership device. So it's going to be an hours program, an hours program. All right. The program is going to last for an hour. Therefore, it is an hours program, or it is a 1 hour program. So that's the way it works. All right. So far, we have been able to discuss these 6 rules with you. All right. I think Gift has been with us since the beginning of this section. Something as Titilola. All right. So I'll allow you guys to unmute now. Okay. Just re-explain any one of them, or perhaps any two. I just want a kind of recap. Now, the student voice. When we listen to the teacher's voice, can we hear the student voice? Trying to help their other friends make sense of what we have done. Okay, it's also the methodology. When student talk to student, it's a methodology, and it's scientifically backed. But sometimes students understand it better when they discuss with their peers. All right, so it's a methodology that we have also adapted. So once we have cooperative students or students who are not shy and who are willing, we allow them to talk to their friends. I mean, what are they doing? You just want to replay. It's something I've done. Look at it. Which one can you re-explain? Which one can you undo? Which one can you represent? So that your friends, and as you're doing that, you're also learning it deeper. Let me tell you something. In case you're wondering, I'm sure you must have observed that with all your tutors or your teachers. When we teach, we don't even care. I don't have any book here. All right. I wonder if there's any UTME topic I have to teach that will need a book. I don't need any. Okay, I don't need any. Now the question is, it's not just only for the English language. We also have for the math, chemistry, all of these tutors too. Basically, we don't need one. Why? Because we are had the opportunity to teach it again and again and again. So all these things, we don't know them like we not understand them ins and outs. All right, we've been with them for many years. So one of the ways you also try to remember things is to try to repeat it. And guess what? You see, God also understands how our brain works. If you're a Christian now, you understand better. Our Bible says we should read this book day and night. You see, you read it every day, you read it every night. So that's when it will become something you can always use. You see, even God understands how the brain is programmed. The brain needs to do it again and again and again and again. All right. So having said all of these things, let's see. Do we have anyone who would like to volunteer to take the other people through what we have done? Maybe just for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, even just 1 minute. That's okay. All right. And if we don't get any volunteer, we'll have to proceed. All right. So I'm going to allow you. Let's see whether we're going to have volunteers. If we have, good. Take advantage of the opportunity. But in the absence of no volunteer, all right, class will have to move on immediately. All right. Thank you. You can unmute in case you want to grab this opportunity. Yeah, we're listening. Who is trying or nobody? Okay. Let me drop a copy in that WhatsApp group and we'll have to move on. So We've talked about 6 rules. We still have more. So let's look at the remaining rules. Okay, we've talked about 5. Okay, no, is it 5 or 6? 6. So I'm just going to examine the last two under apostrophe. I want to examine the last two under apostrophe. And after that, we'll move to the next topic. Don't forget, I said I was going to try deliver each of the topics in 30 minutes per topic. So I think we've used our time. We're here. We spend we spend the first 30 minutes trying to help you make sense of apostrophe. And after that, we'll proceed to the next topic. The next one. Well, we'll try another 30 minutes there. All right, this is what we have here. So we have 8 and 9, the last one. For 8, okay, I've talked about this one. We don't have to bother ourselves about this. So now let's look at how apostrophe S the last noun in the events of joint ownership. Okay, now we're introducing to something known as joint ownership. Joint ownership. How does it work? Yeah, it's possible, Sorry, let me try to see if I can be illustrative here. I'm trying to make this anyway. Just accept it. These are two people. One thing you cannot take away is, yeah, this experience is possible. It's possible that two people will put money together to buy one thing. Let's say this time around, it's possible. You can have two friends. After all, two friends, they put money together to secure an apartment. So why can't they put money together to do other things? Okay. So I want to assume these two guys put money together to secure themselves. Oh, sorry, I messed up. To secure themselves a car, even though, of course, this doesn't look like one. And I think it's not a bad idea because I've also not introduced myself as an artist. I'm just trying to see because we're just trying to do this because of the visual learners. All right, visual learners, they learn better when they can see it, when you give them in pictures and all of those things. So that is who you are. So we're just trying to see how we can get you involved. All right, two persons can put money together to own just one thing. All right, and so we have Sam. Let's call them Sam. Okay, let's say this is S for Sam, D for Dan. Okay, so question 8. This is Sam in 8 here, and this is Dan in 8 here. So how does it play out? When you need to express joint ownership, it is the last name. It is the last name that will take the apostrophe or apostrophe S as the case may be. For example, Sam and Dan's toy, two children to one toy, Sam and Dan's. I wouldn't say Sam's and Dan. When two people like the one we have here, Sam and Dan, it is the second name. All right. So this time around, so it's just about the arrangement. I said Sam and Dan's. So if I decide to mention Dan before Sam, it is not going to be Dan and Sam's, the second name. There's nothing peculiar about the second name. It's just a matter of rule. That is what the rule says. The rule says in the case of 2 people, 3 people, 4 people or so, owning an item, the last name. So I can make it 3, Sam, Dan, and Paul. So if 3 of us own one thing, it is Paul that will take the apostrophe S. If I add another name to that, let's say I'm adding Lillian, Sam, Dan, Paul, and Lillian. It is Lillian that will take the apostrophe S. So that's very simple. Now, but what happens if both of them have one? So let's make the car 2 now. Meaning Sam has his own car, Dan also has his own car. So each person has their own. All right. So Sam, you have your own. Dan, you also have your own. All right. In this case, each of the names will take the apostrophe S. All right. So we have it here. You can see Sam taking the apostrophe S. You can see Dan's taking a, you also have the apostrophe S. So you have Dan taking apostrophe S. You have Sam taking apostrophe S. This is what happens when each person owns it. All right. Now the last one. Add apostrophe S to the word else. For example, this is someone else's phone. I know this is someone else's phone. I think it's something that is, I've listened to that conversation before where someone was thinking, oh, it should be, I mean, what do you mean by adding apostrophe to the else? That is the way it works. If you have else in the company of indefinite pronoun, the apostrophe is going to go to the else and not to the someone. But if you delete the else, then the apostrophe cannot come to the someone. For example, this is someone's phone. But the moment you introduce the else, the apostrophe will move from someone to else. This is someone else's phone. So this is someone's phone, no else in the question, or this is someone else's phone, else in the question. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a short discussion on apostrophe and how you can survive it. So, you get question on apostrophe. You're only being tested on placement. The question is saying, are you aware of where to place your apostrophe? And are you also aware whether you need an apostrophe at a point or an apostrophe s at a point? So, when do you need one? All right. So, that's what we just discussed. Okay, so let's see. I will got some questions before we proceed to the second topic. All right, Gift, have you got questions, Titilola? At least if you cannot talk to us, can you use your emoji? Let's see what's happening and be sure we're done with the first one and everyone is on the same page so we can proceed to the second one. Nobody's talking to us. Paul, what's happening?
Sorry, sir, I didn't get your question.
Gift, you did also get my question. Or you chose not to voice proceed. Titilola, is it also proceed? You guys want to contribute. You don't want to share, you don't want to lend your voice to the class. So people could also learn from you. Are you scared? You don't have to be scared. It's just an opportunity to represent or summarize the section. Okay, Lillian. Hello, Lillian. Are we sure Lillian is in the class? How some of us don't just join the class and then leave. Oh, you came late. Anyway, okay, that's okay. All the same, we appreciate you for coming around. I mean, we're just fine. So the number is diminishing. We don't know. Is it for reasons of the Eid celebration? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, some of them are still in that celebratory mood. After 30 days of fast, you want to feel relaxed. Just stay away from anything. Yeah, maybe just stay away from anything that can anything too. Do I say too hard now? You just want something. You want something light now. Enjoy yourself and all of those things. All the same, it's necessary. We should wish everybody the best. So now let's proceed. Second topic. Thank you. So we'll move to the second topic. I'm going to share my screen shortly so you can see the second one. Okay, so this is the second topic. For this one, this has to be interactive to some extent, except you don't want to interact. Okay, but that is not a good setting. Otherwise, the teacher will just have to be spoon feeding the students and not too nice. So this is topic 2. I'll do my best to let this run for another 30 minutes, if possible or less. Then we'll move to the third topic and most likely round up my section with a test on vocabulary synonyms. Now, confusables. These are words that tend to confuse students or learners of the English language. The confusion is as a result of similarity in pronunciation because they sound alike. Yeah, that's correct. Sometimes it's because they are spelled in a similar way. Yeah. And the other time, maybe because they possibly have the same meaning. We just know these words are very close. And one is advanced and advanced. I think I can remember the UTME question for this one. It's about okay, the snippet was for dash students. The snippet was for advanced students. The, the snippet was created for advanced students. So we have advanced students, we have advanced students. Now the D in this advanced, this D will sound like ST, advanced, like ST, not D. So you have the advanced students and then you have the advanced. Okay. Now I think we're gonna do more talking now. Okay, we're gonna do more talking. Two things. Which of these, let's put a number to them. Okay, so okay, one has a D, the other doesn't have it. One is pronounced with a T sound, advanced, and this one. Look at this question. If somebody says she has okay, we need okay. That wouldn't make sense. If your pregnancy is in an advanced stage, if your pregnancy is at dash stage, all right. If your pregnancy is at that stage, do less exercise. Do less exercise. So we're looking at between advanced and advanced. So please use your mic. Which of these do you support? I mean, you can also type it out. You don't necessarily have to speak. You can type out your answer. So what do you think about this? Is it advanced D, advanced no D? And that's why we call it confusable. So we're going to try to create some clarifications as we move on. If your pregnancy is at an advanced or advanced stage, do less exercise. You can type, please, in case you don't use the mic. And be careful to use the mic. Please, if you want to type, you can. Okay, I think Paul said advanced. Can we get responses from the others? We only have a response from Paul. So where are the others? Advanced. Okay. Okay, plus let me speak pidgin. Would he make on and I know one talk for class on the fear so that the other people don't go laugh. Abi? Yes, now I be like saying on the fear. Because yes, you don't want the other person to say, oh boy, like saying this poor. You don't feel like 4 questions. But that's not the way it works. It's a learning flow. You see, the correct one is actually advanced without a D. And guess what? Yeah, it's actually advanced without a D. Advanced with a D is used only, mark my words, only when we talk about something that has to do with knowledge. And that's why you look at that Oxford dictionary. It's called Oxford Advanced. It has a D. It has to do with knowledge. But if it doesn't have to do with knowledge, you're just talking about like maturity, both of them are adjectives. Okay. If your pregnancy is an advanced stage that is big, like maybe 7 months, 8 months, or 9 months, okay, you can do less exercise. I don't know if that is correct scientifically, whether you need more exercise or less. But please, so just pardon that. I'm just trying to complete my sentence. So biologically, whether that is right or wrong, I don't know, please. Okay, if your pregnancy at an advanced, not advanced, at an advanced stage. Yes, advanced can also be a verb. When this month, advanced can also be a verb. For example, okay, we need we need the soldiers to advance. That means, so one thing you need to understand is you guys need to be more familiar with words. Most of these English words, most of them, they have multiple meanings. Take for example, the same advance now, ADVANCE, no G now. Advance means many things. Advance can mean money, part of the money you give to someone. That's advance now. Oh, yeah, you never give me advance, which is correct. Advance can mean movement. All right. Okay, the second battalion needs to advance. They need to move, charge, which is also correct. Advance can also mean to go higher. Okay, this time around, not moving into war. All right, this one now means to do something more promotional. All right, so it is important for the level 4 officers to advance to the executive position. So one advance has to do with move, charge, all right, move into war. Another one says climb up, get more qualifications, get more certifications. One says, oh, give me part of the payment. You see, most of these English words have multiple meanings. In fact, sometimes you have the same word, the word can be a noun and a verb at the same time. Advance is one of them. Advance could be a noun and it could also be a verb. Advance as a noun is money. You never give me advance. That's advance as a noun. Then you have advance as a verb. Oh, we need the keys to, we need the, or maybe we need the keys to advance to the next stage. We need the case to move to the next stage. So you have advance as a verb, you have advance as a noun. Okay, so that's the way it works. So when we talk about advance being a verb, it's not really the question here. In fact, what I'm talking about here is advance now as an adjective. You have advanced without a D, which is an adjective. You also have another advanced as an adjective. So the two words you are comparing there, both of them are adjectives. So I'm just comparing. There's one adjective that has a D. There's another adjective that doesn't have a D. In fact, that looks like the last one here, mature and mature. The same logic applies to them. Both of them are also adjectives. There is this adjective with a D, and there is this adjective without a D. There's this adjective with a D, there's this adjective without a D. So the adjective with a D has a different meaning from the adjective without a D. So the adjective advanced now, the one with a D is different from the one without a D. So in this context, I'm speaking about mature, and that is not to say mature cannot be a verb, but I'm comparing them as adjectives. So I'm comparing advanced and advanced as adjectives. I'm not doing one is a verb, one is an adjective. No, in this case, both of them are adjectives. So I'm comparing these two adjectives. Okay, I'm comparing these two adjectives. The same thing happens here. I will have to compare these two adjectives. Mature and matured. I'm also comparing two adjectives. So the question is, when is one adjective more appropriate than the other, and vice versa? So that's what you're learning. So just as we have answered or we have mentioned, advanced as an adjective, the one without the D, has to do with maturity. Why the one with D has to do with knowledge. Moving to the peak. Then we move to lose and lose. All right, you can type the difference in case you don't want to say something. Here, for you, what do you think is the difference? Lose, or you can, if you like, you can put that in the form of a sentence. But we need you to volunteer responses. What's the difference between them?
The first one, lose, is to make something not to be tight. While the second one, lose, is to like fail.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right, who would like to support that statement? Now, we can even add more. Okay. Yeah, in case
Um,
someone, okay, go ahead, please.
so loose. That's the first one. It's
Okay.
actually, if you look at the sound, the S is S, but the second one is Z sound
Okay.
for the second one. And then this one, if you use to describe a person, you say someone that is open, like that doesn't live a restricted or disciplined life, that lives anyhow. You say you can call
Mhm.
that person a loose person.
Okay, thank you.
Then
Thank you for your contribution
for
too.
the lose, that's to lose something.
Okay, thank you. All right, so thank you for those contributions. I mean, they are really helpful. Okay, so I'll need us to complete this sentence. Okay, then one more thing, like you guys have mentioned, I've also put the record straight. Now, most of these English words are multiple meaning words. So you talk about lose. If you talk about okay, you talked about loose, right? Loose, which means to untie. It could also mean to have a moral depravity. Yes, okay. And lose, the one lose, lose, lose. That could mean to misplace something. Yes. That could also means yeah, it could also mean yes, losing someone in terms of that. So most of these words are multiple meaning words. But let's see. How would you like to fill in this question? Don't dash my money as you did yesterday. So which of these? I've introduced two more options. So you have the lose, the lost, and the loss. So you can type in the word in case the pronunciation is tricky. All right. So how would you like to complete this sentence? Go ahead and type. How would you like to complete the second sentence? Don't something my money as you did yesterday. Okay. Don't lose. Okay. Okay. All right. I think we can save some time. That makes sense. The two people actually got that correctly. Thank you. Three. So the three people got that correctly. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So let's move to number three. Sight, sight, and sight. Okay. Um, can anyone explain the three of them? Or maybe you just want to explain one or two. You can go ahead. Sight, Cite, Site, Sight. So who is explaining? And if it's just only one you want to take care of, that's okay too. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Paul.
Um, to cite, that's CIT. Maybe, for example, you say you cite an example
Mm-hmm.
to put down something as an example, something like that. And then site is like a place, maybe a build, for example, a building site or a construction site, so like a place for something.
Mm-hmm.
Then site
Mm-hmm.
as a noun is what we can see, like our
Mm-hmm.
ability to see.
Mm. Okay, that makes
That's
sense.
our
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I think that is really making my class easier for me. All right, thank you. Can we think about famous and infamous? Does somebody have an idea? So let me just come in where we have some trouble. Is infamous? Okay, please go ahead. Just go ahead, Gibbs.
Famous is to be well known for something good, like I don't even know, like our politicians, maybe someone that built a road or something. Why infamous is to be well known for something bad, like criminals.
Oh, thank you. Very, 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 very correct. Thank you. So let's see number five. Ghastly fatal. Who is helping with that? Ghastly fatal. Though we pronounce that fatal, but the correct one is fatal. Ghastly and fatal. Both of them are usually used when discussing or describing accidents or deaths. So who helps accidents, that kind of tough situation, destructive situation. So who is helping with that? Okay, that's
Well,
fine. Okay.
ghastly is like a wound or something that looks terrible. Why for fatal is an injury that looks serious. I don't understand why it's like this, but for no reason they still use it for like accidents. It's very commonly used when accident occur, ghastly and fatal. I don't know. I feel that it's interchangeable.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. And that could make some sense. Paul, can you complement that contribution? For you, do you agree with that explanation?
So I don't really know the difference because while we agree they are synonyms, when it comes to in context of accidents, if you look at
Okay.
accident context, they use them to describe. But I think fatal has more. Fatal can be used for other things like risk or something rather than accident. Ghastly. I think ghastly is used to describe things that are very, very.
Oh, okay. More
I
serious.
don't
Yeah.
know.
Gives. Okay. Okay. All right. So if you've got more contributions, then you can keep them coming. All right. So maybe just to spend my time more efficiently. Yeah. The difference between them is both of them are actually technical vocabulary. Technical means you use them in a particular situation or scenario. Basically, we use them when describing accidents. And fatal means death is involved. Ghastly means, yeah, no death. It doesn't matter the level of the severity, as long as nobody died. Whether there is even a femoral damage, as long as nobody dies, you know, we still call it a ghastly. So both of them are kind of harsh, but one involves death, the other does not. So a fatal accident means there was a death. Okay. The other one means no death. We didn't record any death. So it was a ghastly accident. Ghastly does not mean it was not serious, but it just means, well, but nobody actually died. Okay. But the other one means somebody died. Yeah, and it doesn't matter the number, whether one or two. Fatal just means there's death. So whether it's now one, two, no, that's no problem. Fatal just means there is death involved in this accident. All right, so we'll move to the next one. That is biannual and biennial. Can anyone try? Okay. Okay. All right, let's look at biannual and biennial. You see that by, the first one, by. Annual, that's the way you spell annual, right? If you look at the second spelling is not annual. It's not the normal annual, something you do every year, an annual celebration. So looking at just, I'm trying to help you make sense of how you can remember this. The first one, biannual, you can see annual here. Annual means every year. There's annual there. Bi means two. If your knowledge of prefix and suffix, bi means two. If you think about your bicycle, it's called bicycle because it get two leg. So bi means two. Okay. Yeah. So that's bicycle. If you also think about bigamy, bigamy also has to do with two. A woman getting married to two men. You know, and so bi basically means two. So if annual means every year, biannual means something that is done every 2 years. That kind of thing happens. Just like you know, is it what see? Okay, let me ask some of these guys. Sorry, I'm not. I don't really do much. I'm not a football person, but I think World Cup happens. Is it every 4 years? Well, is it every 4 years? World Cup takes place. Okay, yeah, like a festival. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's every 4 years. Good. Thank you. So some things actually happen every 4 years. Some things happen every 2 years. Some every 3 years. But the one that happens every 2 years, this is 2026. If it takes place today, the next one will be 2028. That's biannual. It happens twice a year. Sorry, it happens every 2 years. You see the other one, biennial. That one means it happens twice in 1 year. One is every 2 years, the other one is twice per year. Maybe it happens in June. Oh, good. A good example is WASC. I think WAEC happens, WAEC is a biennial exam. You take it twice in a year. You take one in May, June, and there's another one in is October, November, GC, so something that happens twice in a year. That's the second one, biennial. And then advice, the one with a C, advice, the one with the S. This one has to do with one is a noun, the other is a verb. Okay, so which one is a noun? Which one is a verb? Can you try distinguish them using one sentence? So create a sentence, all right. And if you want to speak to your, if you want to speak to us, you can unmute you, or you want to type it out. Try to see the difference between advice and advice, the one with a C and the one with a S. Can you just create one example and tell us? Okay, I think in this situation, I think I can also create one here and ask you to fill out the correct one. Okay, so let's start. Don't take is that seriously. Don't take his dash seriously. So which of the is it the um is it the one with the C or the one with the S? I don't want to pronounce that. Don't take his dash seriously. So you can type your answers, let's see. Don't take his dash seriously. Is it the one with the C or the one with the S? Don't take his dash seriously. Okay, the one with the C, okay. C, okay. Okay, good also said the one with the C, okay. Oh, what do you think? Sorry if I'm not calling your names because maybe the system is not really putting out help for me. Okay, but let's just save time. It's the one with the C. In case you're wondering the difference between them, the one with the C, advice, is a noun. The one with the S, advice, is a verb. All right, so being and being. This one is also common knowledge. B-E-I-N-G, B-E-E-N. All right, so who tells us the difference? I'll just create one example here. She has dash in Lagos. So is it B-E-E-N or B-E-I-N-G? She has dash in Lagos. You can type out the answers too. She has dash in Lagos. Okay, B-E-I-N-G, Nikki Gold. Let's get more options.
So it's B-E-N.
Okay, Paul B-E-N. Is it B-E-N? Okay. Okay. All right. So, okay, give us the B-E-N. All right. So what would you say to gold? Gold says it's B-E-I-N-G. So what lecture have we got? I mean, how would you like to prevail on R? You guys are right, it's B-E-E-N. But I mean, that's not without any explanation. So can you explain to her why you think B-E-E-N, your choice is correct? It's actually correct. But do you have an explanation for her?
Because has indicates past tense.
Okay.
And being is like something that is continuous, is happening right now. But
Okay.
that has already shows us that it's past. That's why it's B-E-N.
Okay. Can you give us an example with B-E-I-N-G?
Okay. Wait, let me think of something.
Okay. So you guys, the job of a teacher is not easy, I mean. It means she has stayed in Lagos and she has gone to Lagos. Okay. Yeah, that's actually okay. The one with ing number. Okay.
She has been.
Mm-hmm.
She has been. She have been sleeping since morning.
Gift wants to gift. Don't teach us nonsense.
I don't know. I'm not English. Yeah.
Okay. So you can have something like they are being silly or she's being silly. So when you say she's being silly, yeah, that means I mean, she's not just doing the writing at the moment. She is being, she's being silly. Now, one thing you should know is this. One easy way to remember them, very, very easy way to remember them is the one with EEN, which is a past participle verb, is basically used with just three verbs. If you're ever going to see this verb, BEEN, it must be because it is accompanied as, or it is accompanied of, or it is accompanied add. On no circumstance or condition should you ever see BEEN. BEEN is only seen. You say, mark my words, only, and that's correct. BEEN is only seen in the company of as, of, or add. Anything short of that, you can't find it. You will see it is wrong. Then we have lie, lay, laid, and lain. Lie, lay, laid, and lain. Paul, do you have an idea? Okay, let's look at it. That's number 9. Let's say, okay. Let me create a sentence for you to fill out. If you dash on the bed, if you dash on my bed, dash it. All right, can you type your answers? If you dash on my bed, dash it when you wake up. Type your answers. 2 things are missing. Is it if you lay on my bed, lay it, lie it, stuff like that. Send your options, let's see. If you dash on my bed. Type your answers. If you dash, okay. If you lie on my bed, lay it when you wake up. Okay, that's from gifts. Let's get 2 more contributions. Okay. We're waiting for just 1 or 2 persons. Gives has worked it out. She said lie and lay. If you lie on my bed, lay it when you wake up. So who's coming up with a contribution? Okay. All right, Git was actually right. So number 10, onset, outset. Onset means beginning, outset means beginning. One means the beginning of something good, the other means the beginning of something bad. Onset, beginning of something bad, outset, beginning of something good. Damages, damage means destruction, damages means money, the money awarded. Ant and ong, both of them are coming from ang. Some verbs have 2 past tenses, and one of them is ang, H-A-N-G. So you have ang. The past tense could be anged or ong. However, you cannot use them interchangeably. You have to be very careful, even though the both of them are being derived from ang. Let's see. So this is it, ang. The past tense is ong. The past tense is also ang. So, and you cannot use them interchangeably. You have to be very careful how to use, which one to use. Take, for example, who dash my clothes? Who dash my clothes? So is it ong or ang? You can type your reference if you don't want to speak to your mic. Ong, okay. Let's get more contributions. Faith says ong or gift rather. She said, who ong my clothes? Who else is coming? Oh, okay, and okay, okay. Good said and. Oh, Izzy also said and. Paul, do you have a contribution? Can we get your response to? Lillian, we can't get a contribution. Are you still there? Anyway, for this one, the answer is ong, not and. You see, and with ed. Yes, and with ed is used for execution. It has to do with killing people, not only people, but it has to do with killing. You can, some people in their culturalists, there are people who actually hang dogs too. So the dogs were hanged. It has to do with execution, death, killing. That's the one with ed. The other one is, has other meanings, like, for your clothes now, you hang it, your clothes has been hung. And that's the difference between them. All right, then we have portable and potable. Portable, the one with R. Portable, the one with R, that is common. Okay, and that means, small, compatible, you can move it around. Then you have, what's it called? The other one is not portable. That one is potable. And that has to do with consumption, water, safe water, drinkable water, all of those things. Illicit and illicit. Illicit means illegal. Illicit means to get information from someone. Compliments and compliments. Compliment with S. That is when you say, when you try to, extend greetings to someone, you try to, admire them. That's compliments, the one with the S. Thanks for the compliments. Maybe you say, oh, you're such a beautiful lady. Thanks for the compliments. It is the one with I. I has to do with, appreciation, admiration. The one with E has to do with you trying to complete something. Is this going to complement my efforts? All right. So, for example, you need prayer to complement your effort. You have, you've been hardworking, you've been reading. Then you need prayer to complement the one with E. E, that is to add to it. The one with I, that one has to do with, oh, thank you, and thank you. Now the last one, mature and mature. Okay, at what age do you say someone is mature? At what age do you say someone is mature? You can type in your answers, please. Okay. Anyway, our jurisdiction uses a team. Okay, 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 okay. All right, that's fine. So if we use, okay, so the most important thing is at least different ages for different countries. She's mature and all of those things. That mature does not come with D. She's mature, no D. She's mature, no D. When do I need the D? The D happens when I treat mature as a verb. For example, you will need some time for you will need to be patient for the seed to mature. Last year, it matured after 3 years. So you're talking about something that is processual, something that takes time. Okay, it takes time for it to mature, but thank God after 6 weeks, it was matured. But when you're talking about, maturity in terms of someone being able to take responsibility for their actions, take direction for their life, that is mature without a D, and that is so. I think you can always learn more. These are some of the confusing words. Guys. Now let's move to the last part of this discussion. So the third topic, I call this pronoun case. Pronoun case. That's the third topic. I'm going to share my screen shortly. Okay, pronoun case. I is a pronoun. Me is also a pronoun. Pronouns are words used to replace nouns to avoid or reduce repetition. Most prominent among the pronoun types are subjective and objective pronouns. So we have the subjective pronouns, we have the objective pronouns. You have the I, the objective is me, they are all pronouns. You have he, you have him, you have she, you have her. Now the question is, do you know which to use appropriately? Can you use your pronouns correctly? Can you select the right pronoun case? Now I'll leave you to respond to these 5 questions. Type in your answers, then we'll consider them together. Just wait. They're just 5 questions. Okay, let's attempt these 5 questions. Send in your answers. Just use the letters A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, Let's attempt these 5 questions. Send in your answers. Let's see. All right, so I'm still waiting. Please send in your answers. Just 5 questions. A, B, C, D, A, B. Oh, just even A, B, C. A, B, A, B, not even A, B, C. A, B, A, B, A, B. Send in for your answers. Okay, Titilola, I have 3. Remaining 2 questions. Oh, thank you. So we have the 5. All right, Paul, we're expecting your answers. Lillian, Gift, your answers. Um, Gold, your answers. Okay, Eze. You only sent question. You answered to question 2. How about 3, 4, 5? Well, what's happening? Are you finding this stuff? It's just 2 options, or A, B, or C. Okay, just
So I couldn't see anything. My screen was blank. I'm just seeing
okay. That's
after number
okay. So
one, I couldn't
wait.
see any blank.
But can you say it now?
Yes, sir, I can. Oh, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, work it out now. Okay, now let's respond to these questions. Not everyone was able to send us their answers, but please mark. This is the first one. This is the second one. This is the third one. This is the fourth one. This is the fifth one. All right, send in your score. Let's see before we provide explanations. How did you go? How did you perform on this test? You can see the screen. What's happening? Who else can see the screen? It could be something technical from your, from your end. Who else can see the screen? Okay, it has to be your network. All right, can you share your score? Nobody share your score. Doesn't mean everybody got zero. Who got 5/5, 3/5, 4/5, 2? What's happening? Oh, Paul got 4. That makes sense. Titi Lola got, okay, Gift got 5. All right, so Gift, you have to explain to us now. So look at what you have on the screen. Tell us. Why is it us now we? So go ahead and provide an explanation to all your answers. That's how you convince us that you didn't get through. Okay, start please.
I'm not sure of all of them, but then I'll
Uh,
answer the ones that I know.
so that means you guess. Okay, try.
For the first one, two describes objective cases. So that's why we're using us and not we.
Why please?
And for the second one, says between Ferrami and me. Is me because of that between there. I don't know. I've come across something like this before, so that was how I was able to tackle that one. They said whenever you see between something and is going to be a this in objective pronoun that will be there. So that is why me is there.
Yes, for listening. The next one.
Number three. I'm not sure of this number three. I'm not sure of number three.
Okay, number 4.
Okay. Or not. I don't know how to explain that number 4.
Number.
So For number 5, the pronoun will be subject. It will be subject of the verb honored. Subject of the verb honored. So that's why we're going with a subjective pronoun, she.
Okay. So who else would like to contribute to that? Thank you. Thank you, Faith. Okay, go ahead.
Something I want to add about that number 3.
Okay.
It was when you did the correction, I remembered. I joined the class and he said when you have something and anything and that the two nouns or pronouns should be able to fit in with the verb independently.
Mm-hmm.
So like it would be like the woman duped Nicole and the woman duped me. So
Mm-hmm.
it should be me in that explanation.
Yeah, good explanation. Yeah, the explanation is good. Okay, thank you. All right, so let's just see very quickly. You've all done well. To here is a preposition, and there's a standing rule. There's a standing rule that only object pronouns are to be seen in the company of prepositions. For example, give my cake to him. Give my cake. Sorry, I messed up. Give my cake. Give my cake to him and not give my cake to him. So it's just a standing rule. Choose a preposition. The same thing is applicable to this one, between. Between is also a standing, it's also a preposition. So like we have mentioned, there's a standing rule. This one is also a preposition. And the rule says after preposition, use an object pronoun. Yeah. Paul gave a nice explanation to here, just like the other people. The woman duped Nicole. So when you have this and joining to subject or object, you just need to be able to run the sentence twice, like he did. The woman duped Nicole one, the woman duped me. So that's the way you run it. If you run it twice, you'll be able to find the right answer. It was that. So this one has to do with it was. Now there is a principle about this expression, it was or it has. Okay. You have to, what do? In order to know what is missing, you pretend this does not exist. So if you pretend this does not exist, so what do you have? They honored her. Can you see? Very easy. Dash honored the royal crown. She honored the royal crown. That's how to go about it. So you just pretend it was is not existence. And sometimes it could be it is, they are, all of those be verbs. Just pretend they do not exist. Other time it could be as, it has been, just pretend they don't exist. And you'll be able to find your verb by, pretending they do not exist. This is the way to deal with them. Okay? And I think in about, God accept us. In about 2 hours, we have trashed 3 topics. We have trashed 3 topics. Okay. So now we're going to round up this section. I'll spend 30 minutes more. I'll leave you guys to reflect for 10 minutes. So this class is not good. It's going to last for 1 hour, 15 minutes, not the necessary 2 hours. Okay. I'll have a session I'll be coming up immediately. I just want to allow myself 10 minutes rest. Okay. So now we're going to conclude with this section. I want us to have a quiz on synonyms again. We've learned we've considered 3 different topics. Let's check our vocabulary health. Okay. All right. So we're going to answer these 13 questions. Um, we have four options. You have to choose the one that is nearest in meaning. So it is synonyms. I'm going to share my screen now. So we're going to round up our section with that. Mhm. So send in your answers. I'm trying to share that on the screen. Okay, so that's it. Remember, some people write synonyms here. Send in the letters, but make sure you are fair enough. Okay, you can guess through in case you have some trouble. All right, but please do not resort to your dictionary, or other self-help books. Let's see what you can do. All right, good luck, everyone. I've penciled 10 minutes for this quiz, in the worst case scenario. And then, like I mentioned, it's the last exercise for this live section day 5. All right, so who is true? One minute left. All right, so let's take the answer so that we can go. Sanction, which means approve. Irritable, bad-tempered, monstrous, shocking, interfering, determined, breakthrough, go of course, unpleasant, difficult, reticence, validate, decline, abnormal. So it's not really about the words, it's about your familiarity with the words. So you need to step up your vocabulary preparation. See, it didn't take me up to 2 minutes to deal with this. Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so you can check against what you have done. And okay, so Paul, how many did you get correctly? So wind down. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, so this is how we're going to draw the curtain. We'll see you next week by God's grace. And continue to enjoy your preparation. In about in less than 24 hours, we're going to put this on your dashboard so you can go back to watch the section again and again. All right, thank you guys. So we're going to stop the recording and also pause the section. So I'll see you next week by God's grace. Yeah. Bye guys. Yes, bye guys. Bye. Bye. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'll see you in the next section by God's grace.